into introducing my guest here today. You guys all really know him. His name is Slender, or Pascal. Some may even know him as Phenomenon, which is the reason for the title. Welcome, Pascal. Hello.
Hello.
So start off.
Yeah.
Let's start off by why the name Slender? What because I think you go by Phenomenon on like Counter Strike and stuff, right? So why is your name Slender on Battlefront?
Uh, yeah, because of the horror game was it the reason. I saw it from my best real life friend, who he played it a lot. And I asked him what game is it. It was Slender and something it kept on my mind, so it was then Slender.
So you're telling me that Kirby was right all along? You've been collecting pages.
I didn't know the exact thing what was in the game on that time. I was like in complete. On that time, I was so complete outside of any game stuff and something like this. Really, I just saw it from friends and stuff.
Welcome, chat. You guys are welcome to ask questions. I probably won't like get to them till towards the end of the show. There is like we're gonna go over like Thunder's entire history on Steam specifically. I'm not talking too much about
Yeah.
but we're gonna try and get a bunch of that stuff from like the Steam era of the game catalog down. This is gonna be uploaded to YouTube. It might get uploaded to like a SoundCloud or something. I don't know. I'm not very experienced in that, but we'll see. Um, so name's Slender. What got you into Star Wars Battlefront 2 whole game?
And yeah, definitely the movies. I watched them a lot as a kid. Um, Also playing with my brother on LAN together. Both games, also the old Battlefront 1.
Oh, wait, you played Battlefront 1, huh?
Yeah, mostly single player, of course, not online. Because connection in the past in Germany wasn't better than today. um, but yeah, I started then, I don't know, when I had better connection and stuff, and also my own first laptop. Then so I started playing online. So comes then down.
Okay. I guess we can briefly touch on it. When did you start playing online on Battlefront 2? What year? Like in
2012.
2012. So you had to have been pretty young then, right?
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm I guess I'm I'm from the present time now. I would say still one of the younger ones. Still, maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, or something below average.
Yeah, I think the only exception would be like the really new ones like Baron and stuff like that. Those guys are really
Yeah.
okay. So did you immediately start playing Battlefront competitively, or did you just play in pubs? What did you do when you first started?
Yeah, I guess it's like when you every time when you're starting in a new game, it's something more like pubbing and having more fun online games, and instead of when you're going into tournaments, like it's more pub and have fun and try to make connections to others. So yeah, it was more like this, definitely.
All right. So we're fast forward a little bit. We got the introduction why you started on here. We're gonna go to Steam now.
Yeah.
The first time I heard your name was 2018. Did you play before that, or was that like the first time you really came back to Battlefront?
No, I played the whole time. I played from 2012 to now. I really didn't make something long breaks. I guess my longest break was 4 months,
Okay.
something. Where I was not in the mood to play the game overall, but at some point you were like, okay, let's come back. I don't know, maybe you have a public, so just play for a bit and then I don't know, do other stuff again. And then it wasn't the Germans, it was a lot of French people who I know from the editing scene, like Xorti, Shara. Chapeau is obviously still known here in Steam. Something like this French community, something like this. They recognize me because they were Airnade fanboys basically, and it's known. I have an every fracture in Airnade somewhere, so
What?
it's none, obviously.
I guess we can talk a little bit about that. What? Okay. Everybody's like fascinated with air nades, right? Like I don't think there's a single person in Battlefront that doesn't see an air nade clip and not go, "Whoa!" They might say some are better
Yeah.
than others, but air nades are fascinating. What does it take to be good at air nades? Is it just luck, or do you actually like have a system in your mind when you try to go for one?
Especially like it's not plan. It's not like I have all time my grenade launcher out and just waiting the darkies flying. I just try to play um like normally Wookiee play something like to force the darkie out of the cover or something, and you have definitely really insane reactions and also somewhere prediction where how the dark is flying. So it's not like luck only. I mean, you can practice it 100%, but I had luck in the past. I had always mates who always want to play Wookiee versus Darkie in some private servers, something
Okay.
like 2 versus 2 Darkie versus Wookiee only,
Yeah.
and we changed it then when you had something like a term of numbers of air nades you made in one life or something, or general, then you're swapping, then you're playing Darkie, so it's also then good that you how to play against Wookiees when you play Darkie as well. So
Yes.
it's mix of both, obviously.
A lot of practice.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I guess so. We're talking 2018. I was mostly involved in the Vorpal Discord. I know that Xenical came around then. There was the TSOF Discord, but the EU community was kind of in like several Discords at the time, right?
It was still, I guess, TeamSpeak on that time a
Really?
bit as
I
well.
know you
Yeah, I
guys use.
guess.
I know you guys use TeamSpeak a lot. I mean, I think you are in a TeamSpeak every day, right?
Where when I didn't make the break, not really. I
Okay.
was not really connected. I had usually TeamSpeak for Battlefront, and when you're done in the mood to play, you're playing something different, or I don't know, but you are not connected with all the people, so you're more outside. I just came back because I wanted to try another time. So and then I saw the French community, or the French players overall.
So how did you get involved then with like the players like Achilles, Noe, Puma, Jules, all the guys that were playing actively on Discord and stuff?
Um, I mean, of course, you had still the connection from the past. I mean, they also played 2017
Yeah.
before Steam Battlefront came, so the connection was still there. If I can immediately say the connection wasn't good as it right now, or like it comes later. We had still issues to each other, but overall, me and Toby weren't tilted a lot to each other because we started the game basically together in the same year, and we were the 2 players from the lower clans or teams where we had the most potential in rising up really fast. Yeah, so the connection was still, at least with Toby, still fine overall. We were not the best mates on that time, but still fine. And he told me then, yeah, there's a tournament and where they played with Supermat and they signed up Jules as sixth. So that was the time where Jules came into Supermat. Um, and yeah, I know that Malavita was another French guy played with Chapeau, and I asked them if I can play with them. So I was then the new member then of the team that tournament.
Oh, so you played with them at them in that tournament.
Yeah,
How did that
I
go?
played.
How is it playing with them?
I mean, it wasn't fully French. I mean, the clan was French and the core was still French. But you had Monzi and Four Leaf Clover as well, so Russian and British player. And it was a bit weird because Monzi is troll, fully troll. It's sometimes funny, but
Yeah,
sometimes too much.
I've heard about him.
Um, but in the tournament, it was bit weird because I mean, Four Leaf Clover saying build something. Monzi is complete quiet basically, and Chapeau is like, I mean, he had some issues with his mouse and mic or something, so yeah, it was a bit weird, obviously, but it was still fun to play because I was really cool with all of them, and especially with Mala Vita, who was also in the team. Like I talked with him also every day.
Yeah.
So or something special?
So this was played in 2018, right?
Yeah, early 2018. Yeah,
Okay, and then I know later on we had the BFC that summer.
BFC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
BFC that summer. Superman plays in that. Warful plays in that. That never finished. To this day, it's still.
it's,
Um,
I from the TN3 tournament, I played against Superman twice actually.
how was that fun? Cold.
The first match was overall fine, but also in the first match, Yannick was missing.
Okay.
Um, I'm but I mean, 2018 was basically every best EU slash German or German player was in Supermat, and I was basically the only one outside of really good EU players who was not in Supermat. You can maybe Niels, but Niels and also guess Kevin wasn't active on that time, so you can basically only say me on
Yeah,
that.
I don't think they really came along till about the first
Yeah.
EBC 3v3. I think. Can't remember if BCL 3v3 or EBC was
No,
first.
no. I get the first EBC also didn't play. Or that was a bit later actually.
Okay. We
Yeah.
get through the BFC. We get into the first BCL summer draft, which was a total mess. There was subs everywhere. We had the whole Nightwing and Strider debacle. We were playing 5v5, 18-minute maps back then. Shout out to Baron. I don't think anybody's gonna cap his death record, unfortunately, now. But I don't think anybody's gonna cap the kill record either.
Wasn't it pretty high?
I think it's
Was
a
it
figure
over
four.
3 deaths per minute or something?
It was high. It was high. There were some high kill maps there too. Um,
Yeah.
and then
Guess it
so
was.
this is when I first really heard about you because I think it was Smith drops out, and they're talking about subbing you in for Smith,
Yeah.
and then everybody was like, no, you can't sub him in. He's way too good. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So
So,
we never see you play then because you didn't get subbed in. You almost did, and then I think next tournament is it EBC or was it BCL?
yeah, it was the EBC, the
Yeah,
weekend tournament.
the 3v3. You didn't play with Supermat here either, right? You played with.
I played with Dark Rider and Spitz.
Okay, so talk to me about that. How was it playing with Dark Rider and Spitz back then?
I mean, it was instead of now much different. Dark Rider wasn't obviously he's the top player now, but on that time he wasn't. He was really hard grinding and improving, but he wasn't obviously not on that top level yet.
Yeah.
And Spitz is a complete different player. I mean, obviously he's also really good, especially with aim and sniper. But I mean, it you need still something to beat Supermat in that tournament. It was still a bit of missing. I guess also in the final was the motivation pretty down from all of us,
Okay.
um, especially for Spitz and me because we were. I was pretty tilted on the previous match because of some situation was happening where I was pretty mad, and Spitz wasn't then happy about it because it was a mistake play from him where um, in important matches or in the closer matches that could make the difference between win and losing.
Yeah.
And I mean, on that match it didn't matter, we still won. But then you play immediately to the final against Supermat, and I mean the motivation is down. You have no hope to win something out there, so it was then obviously a smash from them. And I remember Jules played insane. Toby and Yannick also had their moments, and yeah, played really poorly instead of the winner match before. So yeah,
Okay, so at this point, you've always been a player on the outside looking in, right? You were never in Supermad. You were always against them. I think after
yeah.
this tournament, you joined them shortly after, right? 'Cause I
Um,
don't think you played another tournament without them. I think after the 3v3s after this, you play with Supermad, correct?
yeah, definitely 3 years. It was technically I signed up. I wasn't in Supermat on that time, but in the tournament when the tournament was ongoing, I was already in, but I didn't sign up with them.
Okay.
I was basically in the team, but I didn't play with them. So
So let's fast forward a little bit. We're gonna skip. I think we end up skipping 2020 draft here. We'll go to the first 3v3 you play with Supermad, right? So
yeah,
you're on the team. You've played with them, but this is your first match and your first tournament with what at this point is the most dominant team in Steam Battlefront, right?
Yeah.
How was it? Was there any pressure going into that match to perform well?
It's, I can say that when you play some mixed rooms with them and some practice rooms, you didn't feel really the difference. But in the tournament match, you feel every one of them, especially Norway, wanna win. You wanna win every match basically, if possible,
Yeah.
and you definitely feel more the pressure into you. But also at the same time, also feeling relief from it because I have two teammates on my side who can fully trust. So I can just focus on my own game, and that was really helpful. Like some on other teams, like when you go back with the friends scene, I also had to micromanage everyone, uh, much as possible, that we don't make dumb mistakes with Dark Rider and Spits. I gave some input, but they were still smart enough to make right decisions. So I have to just ha- bit play my own game. But on Superman was the first time where I can fully play my own game and just focus on my own game. So it was really nice.
What was your like your role? What did you think? What do you think you did? Were you like the I mean, obviously Battlefront doesn't have like dedicated roles, right? But would you call
Yeah.
yourself like a fragger? Were you the objective guy? What were you?
It was hard because in the previous matches or in the previous teams, like I had I have to be everywhere basically. It
Yeah.
feels like. I mean, in Supermat you had I know the player how they play, so especially Toby and Yannick and also Jules. I feel like always I was really hard aggressive. I always try to make space, and where especially my team can use it. I always want to force myself into one on X situations where no way Puma Jules can use something with the space which I try to create, or just make for them the advantage situations, like when they have 2-on-1s. Um, and I try to stay alive most as possible.
Okay.
So, and I have that's why I guess I have really high death numbers usually. So, but I try to play for my team on that time.
I remember when you were first like when I first heard you were playing. You played over Jules a lot, and I at the start I was like, Superbat's crazy. There, Jules was like one of the most cracked aimers I'd ever seen. Like he was insane. And then you were playing like every single match, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? From the outside looking in, it didn't make sense, but you guys went on to win everything for a long time. Um, so now let's back up a little bit. We'll talk about the first draft I know you ever played that I watched. Um, yeah, BCL 2020 summer.
Yeah.
You had your fanboy and crude. You draft crude first. Um, Everybody kind of expect that. Then I think it was the next round you draft Lucas.
Yeah.
Let's start there. Why Lucas of all people?
Um, Lucas is actually a really old player. He was really experienced in the past. I don't know how good he will be firepower and hyping or something like this. But I know he was really experienced and he has something on his mind where some other players maybe don't know how to expect like him. So I was hoping that he's helping me out a bit. And I definitely wanted to have another German guy when I have something to say specifically to him, so I can say it to him in German.
Okay.
Um, which is also helping me out. And I mean, obviously he was experienced. He played with Runaway in the past in tournaments against Norway, and yeah, that was the main reason.
Did it pan out? Was he as helpful as you thought he'd be, or?
Some votings were a bit of trolling, obviously.
Okay, okay. I
Devstar into Instagivers, shout out.
I can speak from the outside. It looked like it was pretty troll. But um,
It was overall not that bad,
okay.
actually.
So you draft Crude, you draft Lucas, you get Baron, and you get Ace.
And Sparks.
Oh, true, yeah, because did we have rosters of? We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had Sparks. Sparks played every match for that.
Yeah.
That's a crazy time period. We had such huge rosters. Um, what was it? So obviously, we know how fast Ace got better after this tournament. How was it playing with him in Effortless? Was he, like, was he really motivated? Was he just there to be there? What was it like playing with him in there?
I remember he was really busy oftentimes. In the scrims we always played with Baron. And but for the first match, I remember Ace will be there if something needed, and yeah, then Lucas is something like, "Yeah, it's too late. I'm tired, so I go to bed," or something like this. Immediately, I said to Kuli, "Yeah, we have to play with Ace. We have to play now. It's better if we play now instead of rescheduling."
Yeah.
And so we messaged him. He's hopping in. He didn't expect anything, I guess. He has probably, I don't know, never talked with me and maybe with Screwed or Sparks ever before, basically. And it was pretty chaotic on the start. And I tried to say to Christian, yeah, do this and make this play and play this class. And I try to help more around with Sparks and Crude more, and don't try to at least pressure hard Ace because I don't know, he was, I don't know, a silver or pretty close to bronze, and I can't pressure him hard now. It's
Yeah.
overtime, it's an important match. And I told him, yeah, go start behind arena and maybe try to make pressure there. And then he's popping off the 3K, make the flag cap alone. And yeah, it was insane. And then he's popping off since then.
He
So
said
he killed everyone.
the chat saying he did not know what first, second, and third way were. Is this true? He didn't know
Yeah.
these call outs?
Yeah,
Oh man.
I mean, he was, yeah, I guess almost bronze. And how do you wanna? You can't pressure like your last player really hard like this, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
He's got the one of the best clips I think ever, where he did, like you said, 3K a flagpole all of his own. Everybody learned what the
Yeah.
name Ace was that day. Um,
100%.
I guess talk to me about drafts a little bit, right? It's totally different from playing and bring your own team, obviously. But how, as the best player, right, usually on your team, how much
Yeah,
pressure is there, and does it get stressful? I imagine it does, right?
it's both. It's hard pressure and hard pressure, and everyone is looking for you. Everyone is want to shut you down because okay, we shut this guy down. No one else on the team can do anything, or we can relieve the pressure or something. Um, yeah, especially in 2020, where I was pretty close to losing NYC experts. I've really hard felt that the pressure because I know everything was on the line on me. I have to hard perform. Um, yeah, so it's really rough to play, and in my opinion, you need the right player material, and you have to hope that your teammates have the right mental to win games and listen to you.
Mm.
Where you have when you say you have to do this and this, and you have to play this class, and we have to play this map, so you have to bring us really good arguments to your team in the map votes as well. Why we should play this and what class do you have to play on this on these specific maps, which game plan we follow. It's really hard pressure. I have to work a lot into stuff like this, especially on effortless, because I want it really hard to win. It's
Yeah.
like my mentality. I want to try to win every tournament as possible, and yeah, that's why I put a lot of effort into that. And but it's hard, stressful. Like I have to focus on everything. So
Okay, so we you do that right. We get through 2020. I think you got, you win with Super Mad. Was there another tournament? There was a
yeah,
3v3.
the EBC with
ABC.
prize money.
Oh yeah, because that was the Mistro team with Runaway, Neil Spitz, and Sev, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about that tournament, right? Because I think that the purpose, even though Mistro won't say it, they wanted to have NYC in the mix, right? And
Yeah.
all the more power to them if that was the case, or if not. What was it like playing against that Mistro team? Was it difficult?
Yeah, of course. Like in the BCS season one final, Spitz played, and in the EBC Seth played, and Seth is 100% a much more aggressive player than Spitz. You definitely feel it on NYC. He's tried to killing everyone and try to open space, especially for a guy like Kevin who can, and maybe Needs as well, who he used to do.
Hmm.
And definitely the hyping factor is always a thing. And but we were like, we had really good start on our own server, and we went into first time on NYC, and we were like, no pressure, just play like we usually play on EU. And I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And I remember the first Mustafa, like how we played it. It was insane, from the calling, from the how we played as a team, how we moved together, and how we try to open up things. I was, I don't know, I was so in my focus. I just tried everything possible, and Noe was, especially in the first half of the 8 map thriller, insane. He was fragging wise by far the best player on this match. So yeah, it was. I was really happy that I I beat that and I won prize money. We were all hunted for that, and yeah, then winning a match like this in a solid fashion, it's feeling nice always.
Yeah. Um, get that win. You guys, I think nobody at this point doubted how good Supermad was. I think Supermad before had already cemented themselves as the best team, and then they just kept it going. They didn't skip a beat. It felt like.
Yeah.
We go
And it
into
was that tournament where Jutes didn't participate. It was the tournament where we only signed up as 3 players. Was
really.
only no, yeah, it was only Noe, Puma, and me who played. We
Did
played every game.
I did not know this. That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
Um, trying to think here. Did we do the season with Snug that year?
It
BCS
was right
season?
after, or was
Yeah.
it the same time or something?
I think it
Something
was
in that
pretty
regard.
close to that. So you know,
Yeah,
as soon as we'll say it, as soon as EBC finishes, right, you go play another season of 3v3 in the BCL, but Supermat doesn't sign up. They didn't sign up as a
yeah,
team. You end up playing with Clone, Sev, and Bester. Was Bester on that team?
yeah,
Yeah. How was that playing with, for a change? You were playing with full NA. You weren't playing with any EU. So
yeah.
you know you have to common English, and you're obviously you're still playing with good players. How was it?
Mm, it was obviously different because when you're playing 1 year the whole time only with Supermat tournaments, and then you're playing with Clone, Seth, or Bester, who depends if Clone or Bester played, it's obviously different. And the calling and the callouts was also different, so I needed a bit time to come into it. But I was so in the game on the whole year, I feel like I didn't feel the difference of lower hyping on 2020.
I know your stats
So
were insane for your ping. Like they were crazy good.
yeah, so from my personal performance, it wasn't that huge difference. But from the play style and calling back to English, and then 3-on-3, where maybe it wasn't that common still on the BCL, so it was obviously different. And
Yeah.
sometimes also misunderstanding between me and Seth, because we were both really aggressive. So sometimes one of us has to cool down a bit always, and yeah, it was a bit stressful. But it was overall fine as well.
How was it playing with Clone? I think Clone played most matches. I think Bester only played a
Clown
couple.
is he's so calm, he's so chill, he's really funny. He's when something random weird happening, his laugh is insane. I love Clown. He's a nice guy.
That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. 2021. Trying to think. I think first would have been a 3v3 season. So this would be season 3?
Free.
Did you play within that? Did Superman sign up for that
Yeah,
one?
it was super mad again.
Oh yeah, because
That was
this is the undercover champions roster that had Stud, Zemo, Vin, and who else? Who was the fourth?
it
Uh
Bars? No, or Sparks, or?
that was Sparks, you're right. Because Sparks and
Oh,
Vin at the time played
was
together every match, every team. And then it also had Highness, Drew Dark Rider, Yadu, and Nightwing. This team lasted for a little while. And then
yeah.
the Moyne team with Levin, Finney,
Yeah,
Slang,
it's
and
like
Stefano.
yeah.
Okay, so Superman, you sign up for this. I think it's pretty clear your favorites at this point. There is no like super heavy team here. I guess at the time, kind of considered undercover champions to be pretty good. You know, you had Stud, who was at that point he was on a tear in ranked. I think he had gone from there's still that graph somewhere, I'm sure saved, of him going from gold all the way up to champion in like the space of 2 months or something. You got Ven, who was considered a good player at the time. Zemo was in; he was doing well, and then you got Sparks, of course. Um, Talk to me about that season. I mean, did it? You guys, I think, mostly just breezed through it, right? It was pretty easy.
And no, the circumstance was so much different in that time.
Was it
Uh,
really?
yeah, it was the time where Norway had ping issues and connection issues, and you can't really rely on him because his ping went from 20 to 60 to 500 and then back to 60, back to 30, and this connection was making so many random shit.
I think I remember this now. Now that you're
Uh,
talking about it.
um, so so there was the first game we had won, and I had to sub in, and we had to play the whole group stage without Norway. Yeah, it was different circumstances. Sometimes the motivation to play then full NYC games, unlike I'm a champion, obviously. LA with Villain and Clone and WoW, or was whoever played Orion. I don't
Oh
know who
yeah,
played
the
there.
left aim team. I forgot about that team.
Their Highness because of Nightwing. Every time at full NYC, it was rough. I mean, motivation to have playing full NYC, oh, always hyping everything can happening. Pretty rough. And yeah,
I guess
so
versus
we were
Boyne was the only time you played on looping, wasn't it? Boyne was fully
yeah,
you.
one was fully you, and rest was full NYC.
Yeah, the server rules back then were a little sus.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand a bit. I mean, one match where we had undercover champions where Stud was back on West Coast and you had Zemo, so you had basically 5 players on 90 ping around. For
Yeah.
example, this is a matchup where maybe say, yeah, it's fine. So you have only one low ping player and the rest is basically the same. So, but some matches where like, maybe one U map at least would be cool. So,
Yeah. You guys, I mean, you guys end up winning. You face Highness first round. You beat Highness pretty handily. I think the biggest surprise was you guys ended up playing Recover Champions in the grand final. They beat Highness by 1 flag, right?
yeah.
Then you guys win that one 11-4. I think at this point people were starting to, because it felt like some of these matches were kind of close, right? Was it just Noe and his ping, or were you guys, because a lot of people speculate you were losing motivation. Was it at this point, or was it just Noe struggling with his internet?
Um, yeah, definitely the motivation factor. Like, yeah, I try to become always on 90 ping, and then you have a battle, and on your screen you shoot him 3 times in the face, and he didn't die, and you die. And
Yeah.
become always over 4 games is then pretty rough. And I always try to become. I always try to motivate in the group stage. Toby, especially Jules. Sometimes lack of motivation as well, but not that hard. But Toby was like every time. He was also frustration because of his connection. Sometimes was rough too, and I try to help him out there as much as I can. Um, but sometimes when you know the match is clinched and you still try to be helpful and help him to be calm, didn't help. And yeah, it is what it is. I can't change it then sometimes.
Yeah. You skip out on UCL draft. You didn't play it this year.
Yeah, but the
Uh,
Beef Edge draft was on the same.
was that the
Was
no,
also
the pure draft 4v4, right? Um,
the Beef Edge draft was
yeah, it was
same
4v4.
time as yeah, but it was but I played it there.
Okay,
So
so walk me through this one. I don't quite. Oh, here's it. I found the sheet. I can look it up now. Oh, this was Skip Bothan. You played with ISO, Avaran, Blade, and Proslick. That I remember this team now.
yeah.
Because you were hard carrying this team statistically anyway. Like you had insane stats everywhere. You had the most flags by far. You had yeah, it was crazy. So how was it playing on this team?
I mean, personally good because I played on low ping. That's
Fair
the
enough.
problem.
Fair enough.
No, I heard that Kratos will pick Kevin. That's what I heard. So I'm pretty sure between when I had a choice between me and Jules, I mean, um, I guess he knows dudes from the name, Superman, stuff like this, but he never played with him. And I played sometimes with ISO, and I was pretty sure ISO would pick me. So I was like, yeah, okay, I go with ISO then. And we messaged a bit. I was like, he was like, I don't know who I have to pick. He's fine to play on full on if needed. I was like, yeah, okay, then what about everyone? He's pretty calm and never tilting. I mean, motivation is also so la la, so not that high. But
Yeah.
I expected that from Aaron, so I wasn't mad or something like this. I was fine, and I remember Blade. Every time I played against Blade, he wrecked me every time on sniper. Every time I was so fucking pissed. And I was like, bro, I wanna have Blade. This guy has insane aim. I wanna have him. And I said, okay, then let's go with Blade. And so that was basically then our main 4 roster. And for the end, we had between Adestria and Pro Slayer, right?
I think so. Something like
Like
that.
things. Yeah, and yeah, we were like with Pro Slayer. I mean, he's trying. I mean, he's on CW. You have him on Magna, for example, and his Magna isn't for his rank not that overall bad, for example. And he's playing Jet. I mean, it's classes where you're doing a lot of ground damage, and it's definitely where you can start with something. I mean, GCW with buff and only is something different, but yeah.
No, Stud just said, "Was that the last great draft?" I think in terms of signups, it was. I don't think there has been
I
a
mean, it's not
single.
said it because he had Ryan and Ace on his
Well,
team anymore.
I also think it, but I think it's like legitimately true. I don't think we've had as many top quote unquote players sign up for a draft tournament since, because there was top player on almost every team. I think. I mean,
Yeah,
you go down the list and you have, let's see, just the first round: Runaway, Slender, Jules, Urbans, Doves, Nuts, Dark Rider, Yadu, Ace first round. That's kind of cool. And then Nightwing. So yeah, I mean, you do have for like and then you go back around, you have a Niter, Stud, Sfinny, Hakan played in this tournament.
yeah, I can't wait to this.
Zemo, Clone, Crude, Rayla. This was definitely the last stack draft tournament. I don't think we've ever had something that stacked since.
Yeah,
Um,
for draft, definitely not, I guess.
so we'll talk a little bit about the results. You end up second seed out of groups. You only lose to the Stud, Ace, Slack, and Ryan team.
No, no, we beat them.
Oh yeah, you did actually.
Yeah,
4-0.
yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking at. Who did you
We
lose to?
lost to Zemo's team where
Oh, with
they
the
had
relation of them.
Stefano, but yeah, but in that match we played without everyone. We played with ISO and Pro Slayer. So it was because we were like, yeah, Aaron wanted to give Pro Slayer playtime and he didn't feel the game on that day, and so it was like, yeah, then I don't know. And we still lost by 1, I guess.
Okay. So you end up second seed. You go into playoffs. You lose out in the quarterfinals. I think this is the match that who was it that disconnected? And DFR
ISO,
wouldn't wait. Yeah,
ISO.
DFR wouldn't wait, so you had to put Pro Slayer in.
Yeah, otherwise you had to play
Yeah,
Pro Slayer.
yeah. I remember this now. That was a huge thing back then. So you end up losing in the quarterfinals 7-5.
I guess this lose was one of the most controversial loses that was ever happened in Steam Battlefront. Many people say with ISO wouldn't timeout, or if they would have honored to wait, that many people say this was the match where we would win.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Everybody was like expecting you to move on. DFR ends up winning. I remember coming back to it, seeing all the stuff with the sub, and DFR didn't want to wait. DFR got so much hate for this. I remember that.
And it didn't continue where I mean, they lost to OB Nightwing
Yeah, by one
team
flag.
with Never. Yeah, also, but also when they go out and everything in the Twitch chat message, yeah, justice for this team and for me and stuff like this, it didn't it continued at that time. So everyone hated DFR.
I think this is looking at it's sort of a subject change, but I'm just looking at the playoff bracket. This was like the last kind of close draft. Well, at least on one side of the bracket. One side of the bracket, it's like 1, 2, 3 flag losses. Then the other side of the bracket's pretty one-sided. Yeah, but that side of the bracket had USA, so we can't really say too much about that.
Yeah.
And then you get to the grand final. It's a one flag game. So yeah, I think this was the last like super great draft tournament we ever had. I think that's it for 2021, isn't it?
No, BFH also made a 3-on-3
Did
tournament.
they?
Yeah,
Um, you know,
I
I
played
for
with.
someone who's been a part of this since the beginning, I am way out of touch.
Oh no, I remember because I played with
I
Supermat,
found it.
and I played in the final against KMAN. It was back to back to back.
Right. Yes, this was the dreadful team that had Vitiate on it.
Yeah.
Uh Oh, and Urban's. Damn, I kind of remember this now. You know, as soon as I find the sheet, I remember all of it. Um,
Oh.
because everybody was like dreadful and Super Matter meeting in finals. That's what's happening
Yeah.
here. So talk to me through about this one. Talk to me about playing. So you guys play on primarily low ping, right? You get a good tournament where you're not playing full NYC. You end up facing against Dreadful. How was this tournament for Supermad? Were you guys like, was it a good tournament?
Yeah, for us as a team overall, fine. For my individual performance as a player, not that. I was in a shape where my performance going much down, personally. I can't remember why exactly. I just know I didn't play really on my peak where I was at the beginning in 2020 maybe. Um, yeah, I don't know. The only match where I was really hyped to play was against Dreadful, and it was the only match where I backed up to play at least on a good level back. Um, yeah. All the other matches in the tournament I didn't play well overall, so but my team was there to handle stuff out, so it was still a good like a classic Superman tournament.
So talk to me about you're playing on like a super prestige team of Supermad, right? You feel like that you yourself aren't performing well. What did you have to struggle with tilting at all, or was it just kind of going? Did you make it through the motions because of the team you're on?
Not because of I didn't tilt or something. I try to still like I usually play on the team. We also didn't have really the discussion. We have to sub Jules in then for the main matches or the high tier matches back and sub me out. So these discussions never happen. Um, we are, we are always still trusting each other. We had too much trust into us, and I was always like in these matches, yeah, maybe I'm hyped. I know I have to play well because otherwise it will be too close, or maybe we're losing. So I really hard focusing again, and so that was the thing. We had too much trust into us, into I mean at least Norway, Toby, me these matches because you it always worked out in every final before. We had a really decent win, and also in that tournament we had a decent win again at the end. And you don't make then a discussion of it. It doesn't matter how bad you played before. That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay. Um, this definitely finishes out.
Yeah, that was
So the
definitely.
reason this is called 2-on-2, because I knew that question was coming. It's two people talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2 online. I don't know. I thought it worked. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
um, so we go into 2022. We're getting close to some of the great stuff here. The real spicy stuff, right? Let's see. What was just the question? Was this the BCL season or was it partner up draft?
It was partner draft, 4-on-4 team, yeah,
Right.
BCL, and 3-on-3 season 4.
You didn't play in the 2022 summer, did you?
I did.
Oh yeah,
I
you played
played in every tournament.
with a
GTR.
GTR. Yep. Okay. Partner up draft. We'll go with first, I guess. I think it was for. I don't remember at this point. Time
It was
blurs.
time.
Um. Anyway, partner up draft. You partner up with Sniper. You and Sniper have been kind of hitting it off, as far as I understand. Obviously, you guys end up. And then you pick up myself and Scout.
Yeah.
what was it like playing in that tournament? Feel free to flame me, by the way. Okay.
No, I don't play.
You can flame all you want. So how
I,
was playing on the infamous awkward dog bros squad?
right. I guess from the mood it was pretty funny. We have a bunch of trolls. That's to be honest. We're trolling every day. um, and at the tournament overall was I don't know. I don't have that much bad remembers. I mean the losses we had it was tough and the tilt overcome us. I guess. Um,
We did lose a lot in groups. We
yeah,
won some in playoffs, but lost a lot in groups.
yeah, the thing is like we lost every game and then we coming into the playoffs and then winning 2 games and almost reaching even prize money out there. It was crazy.
Yeah, thanks, Steph, for
Uh,
ending that. Appreciate it.
Start ended my whole career. Uh, no, I don't know. I guess the tilt was too much on the group stage. I guess that was the problem because we had some matches we shouldn't lose because we are just tilted. Um, too I guess too much. I also wasn't in my form to perform. I would also definitely say that. I should definitely play better. Um, and yeah, sometimes Sniper's awareness wasn't there as well. So
Yeah, I don't think Sniper. This wasn't peak Sniper yet. He
yeah,
was
it
getting
wasn't
better,
definitely not
but
peak Sniper. Yeah, but we should definitely play better actually, and we have we should have better mood as well. So
yeah, I know. As a person, I was still evolving a lot. I don't think if I went back, I would recognize the person I was back then. Um. So yeah, we end up going out in what was losers second round. Made it through 2 rounds in playoffs. That's kind of crazy.
yeah, we beat actually No You, where everyone said
Yeah.
before we will go out there.
Yeah, we beat them pretty hard too. Um,
It was crazy.
so we have that one. Then we go. I think it's BFH. No. It would be draft. I think because BFH didn't do back to back. So we got the 2022 summer draft, and you play with gold team rules. So you get scout again. Play with Yaren, J-Man, and who's your? Didn't you have one more?
Kimu.
That's right,
Kimu.
Kimu. That
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty rough one. At least results wise. I don't know how it was in the team. So let's talk about that. How was your 2022 summer?
Hard frustration in the team, actually. When you're looking every time the result we had, overtime losses, double overtime losses,
Yeah,
only
true.
losing by 1 to 2 or something. These losses, it can frustrate so hard. The yeah, just got that perfectly cursed by Kirby. Definitely a factor, maybe. No, the thing is, we skimmed before the first match. We skimmed a lot, and the team atmosphere was really good. We played really well, and you going into 3B and they smack you out. And these loss, I guess, definitely braked us really hard.
Uh-huh.
That we somehow bounced back against GG Easy, against Stud, against Besta, against Vitiate. That was crazy because before the match I had the feeling this will not ending really well for us. And then we losing into overtime, loss again. I lose against you guys in double overtime or something. These matches, it it can definitely break the team out together. Bring the team complete out. That's what I want
Yeah.
to say. And that we managed to beat 3 teams at least, and even in a really decent fashion, Uwu, who was the group stage favorite, everyone put him really high at the end. It's definitely respectful, and definitely the Uwu match, also MR against Stuff's team, we definitely showed our potential we had in the team. We played these matches really well, and it was pretty sad that we were out on that time already.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was the infamous year. No, it was 2020. One year where we just didn't have. We had like only four.
And then it was a deal.
Was it that year? Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Van was always like on our backs. Like you should more teams in play. We learned a lesson. We do that now. Um. So what was it like playing with J-Man, Kimu? I assume you've played with Yaren a bit, but J-Man and Kimu. playing in A. So how's it playing with those guys?
The team mode in general and we had in the Discord was usually really nice. That wasn't the issue. Like the transmission to I the thing is I'm usually a trolling guy in basically every team Discord. I'm fucking troll. It's honest. And I try to have always a team good atmosphere outside of the game and try to always have fun and try that everything is feeling comfortable with. But I guess the transmission always into scrims or tournaments, I guess it didn't click on that time. And also, um, and yeah, and I know, like, and my performances were really inconsistent as well. I don't know, like I barely carried with Jaren against Vendetta's team, so yeah. Uh, the in-game stuff was always not working. Outside it was always really funny,
Okay.
actually.
Okay, so CL draft's done. BFH does a 4v4 team tournament. The only
Yeah,
only 4v4 team tournament to this date. It was, you sign up. I think
classic.
this was the first Swiss system too.
Yeah,
I know the only one kind of used. I think you technically. Um.
no, it's not.
So let's talk about the 4v4 team tournament. You go through groups. You don't lose a match. You guys just absolutely smash everybody. For the most part, you get your job done. Make it into playoffs. Not worried about
Job
it,
done.
right? Get into playoffs, and again, it's not even close. You play Techno Unit
Uh,
twice here. You play Techno Unit, well, at least first round. First round you played
yeah, the
Techno
first
Unit,
one.
it was 7-1. Then you get to the grand final.
Yeah,
Let's
the grand final was the more tough part.
I think the grand final, I remember watching it, seemed pretty close.
Yeah,
Um
that was close.
talk me through playing in a 4v4. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
Uh, the thing is in front for you need much more firepower, or definitely you have to play more around your aim, and when your aim is not consistent, it's hard to find otherwise solutions. The good thing was that every one of us played, so we had no discussion who sits out and this, and we have to play this map specifically because I don't know, or Bandits. I don't know. It was nothing, not really like. We just said we all for play. We offered say let's play this map. When it's banned, okay, let's play this map. It was pretty pretty smooth overall. Uh, we don't really have much discussion there. It's usually we have discussion who's playing, and you don't have that in the front four when all four are signing up. So
Talk me through grand finals, right? It's closer than you expect. You guys are struggling just
yeah,
maybe a little bit. Guys ever worried?
yeah, we were. Especially me. I didn't perform. I had the feeling somehow it was, the 3-on-3 lose you had before 2 weeks or something. Still had nightmares, and you're going into last map, and it's still tied, and you are like, "Oh no, not again!" Of course. Um, yeah, but yeah, my team stepped out in the last map. That was pretty huge. My team stepped out. I mean, Jules, I guess Jules in Norway played really well overall the whole 4 maps.
Mhm.
But Toby stepped definitely up from map to map. He definitely, I remember, if I correctly remember, he didn't have great start, but in the end, especially in the last chapter, he was really strong. So and definitely pulled us the win at the end.
Okay, so you win that. You're back to your winning ways. We're backtrack into the 3v3 that you just briefly hinted. This is the big one, right, of the year. I think it's still the big one. Many people. It's the only
Yeah,
time Super Matt has ever lost. Um. Okay, let's talk about it a bit. You go through group stage. You go 5-0. You play
yeah,
the team. You play. Okay. Let's backtrack. Okay. Sorry. Little sidetrack there. Let's talk about 5S, right? They make this team.
yeah,
It's Sev, Stud, Doves, Bester. Bester's obviously their fourth, but he's there. Uh,
yeah.
what was your reaction seeing this team?
I, I, I mean, I kind of heard it about it from Dark Rider. I heard they will do. I heard that Dust will do a team with Steph and Start. And I asked him why, and he said he want to beat you guys. I was like, okay. I mean, it's split match then, of course.
Hmm.
Right, right. So they have a pretty high chance to beat us in NA. Um, I was. Norway immediately said, this match, it can be tough on NA. This is a match on NYC. It could be really tough for us. I mean, on EU, we shouldn't worry about, right? Yeah. So the reaction was rough. I had a rough feeling already. So there was like, the previous tournaments didn't always feel smooth, and you usually should. So we know the win wasn't guaranteed. That was 100% sure on that season.
Wait, say it again.
The win on that season wasn't guaranteed from
Okay.
the start,
Okay.
actually.
So you play them. So they play Highness and you guys in the first 2 weeks, right? So we're like gauging 5S super fast. We're gonna figure out how good they are. You know
Yeah.
what they're capable of. They barely beat Highness. They beat them 6-5. Then they play you guys and they lose by only one flag.
Yeah.
How were you guys feeling after that match? Did it confirm all your worries basically?
Yeah, I didn't play good. That was the thing. I didn't play. I I played really poorly on that group stage, but Norway's show. It's always somehow happening in every Supermat game when it's close, but he has to clutch it out somehow.
Yeah, that's true. There's so many clutch clips of him.
It's classic Norway. Um, yeah, like I remember, I understood a bit. Okay, I have to play more because we didn't all play really much on that time. So I have to play more to have my feeling back. Um, back again, and I mean the other 3 matches in the group stage, it felt smoothly then back again. I played really well then. So because I understand this match was too close, that shouldn't happen again from us. So I had the feeling I have to play the game more and have to take it really seriously more.
Okay, so right, so you have the 4-man roster. You have Jules on. Jules has been kind of like he's been on the team. He only plays when he's needed. Was there any thought to bringing Jules in for the match?
Um, no, not really. Actually, I don't know. Like, um, I don't know. Jules is like he always signed. He's always there. Said, I'm playing with needed, but you 3 guys make it somehow, right?" And then
Yeah.
we're like, "Okay, it's so then you don't have the discussion something to do this."
Okay. Um, you guys end up sweeping groups, right? The only scare you had was versus 5S. Everything else is pretty smooth sailing. You beat Highness pretty handily. Um, we go into playoffs. You play the cool guys first. That was the team that had Che, Clone, Ryan, and
Jaron.
Garen. You guys 12-0, no problem. First
Yeah.
match versus 5S. We this is super hyped up. We're not even in grand finals yet. We're like, okay, we're gonna get a taste. You guys only won by one flag in group stage. We're like, this is gonna be close. You guys won 6-2. So we're like,
Yeah.
and then at least from an outside perspective, it was all like, oh no, Supermat's just gonna win again. How was it for you guys? Were you guys confident after that?
Mm, I guess more after that when it motivated them more to grind more. Actually, they understood. I guess we took this match more seriously, and so I had the feeling they grinded every day then since the final. They grinded every day because I had the feeling EU was really smoothly somehow. I also played individually really better. I had a slow start, but I bounced really hard back as well. And Norway is Norway, classic. I know this guy is a goat. It's undescribable what he's doing always. Um, so EU was pretty smoothly, and they picked the map into us as well. I don't know if they wanted to try something out or something different, but they picked a map into us where we're really comfortable with, and so that's why I guess we won at least more decent in a decent way,
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, so then obviously I think Highness even forfeited. They didn't even play. I think.
No.
So it's you guys versus them again in grands. Everybody was expecting this is supposed to be the grand final matchup from the start of the season. Um, you guys, I think, weren't you guys up 2 going into last map? Like this is the Tantive. This is the Tantive that they end up winning by one flag. I think you guys are up 2, right? And they had to win 3-0.
1 or 2 or something.
Yeah, maybe it was one. Maybe it
Uh,
was one. So Supermad's up 1. They have to, they have to cap out. I'm pretty sure it was on EU too, right? Was it on NYC? It was on NYC this part. But you guys have brown side, so everybody's thinking, okay, this is gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. They end
yeah.
up capping out, winning by a single flag. How did it feel? And you can answer this as much as or little as you like. How did it feel to lose the first time as Supermad?
I don't know where the feelings are. We were all speechless a bit. Um, Before we went all into the interview, we talked a bit, and I was immediately saying it was my fault that we lose because I was really shit. I was fucking bad. It shouldn't happen actually when I would play at least decent, but I didn't pop off at one moment really. I was really bad, and I feel like I left my team complete alone. I had the feeling my team was always playing 2-on-3 every map basically, and they said, yeah, it's fine, it can happen. I don't know, bad match can happen, but I don't know. Like when you're losing like this in the fashion, and it's when you look on the stats line, it was pretty clear who didn't perform, and it was obviously me. And I was usually the guy behind Norway who always popping off. Usually, I was always popping off, and especially in these grand finals where everything is on the line, and it didn't happen on that time because I don't know why. I mean, they grinded really hard and they played really well as well. I remember start popping off on the last Tantive really hard. I
Yeah.
guess he carried even more than Seth on that whole final, feels like. And when you don't perform as well, pretty much, you always have the feeling: is it whether whether better was the luck, or did they play really shit and they played really well? And I had the feeling they played their best game against us on that 3, and we played really bad, especially me. And also, even after the final, was me and Yannick talk a bit, something like this, and he said from 100 days, one day is usually a day we lose, and that day happened on that time. And every other 99 days we will probably win, even if we don't play our maybe only our B game or A to B game, because we usually know how they play and we usually know what we're capable of, the potential we have. So it was rough, 100%. And I said, because it was before the 4-4 final, I said, this you're losing more motivation, or you wanna prove on the last final before Supermat played their last final. You wanna prove it again. That was one time happen, you
Yeah.
know? Um, yeah, and we won at least gladly on that final. So it was like, okay, it didn't happen twice back to back. Yeah, but the lose was, I don't know, it was undescribable for us. We were pretty shocked. Well, I don't know. We after the interview, we were just sitting and we were like, I don't know what happened there.
I guess
Uh,
people were talking about your guys' motivation prior to it. I think nobody doubted it once you started playing in that tournament that you were definitely there to win. Um, was it kind of the start of the end of Super Mad playing, right? Obviously you play in the BFH 4v4, but then I don't think you guys have played in a tournament since. You played, like, a couple of you to played together, but it's not been Super Mad. Um, is that done? Is Super Mad over, or would they ever come back?
I have no clue. To be honest, like Toby said last year, that will be probably his last 2 tournaments ever with Supermat. Definitely where he has time, and for the future he can't tell really things. Yannick is really busy with other things, so he doesn't know if he really ever coming back for playing mainly a tournament. Yeah, Jules is sometimes here and there to play, but yeah, I don't know really if Supermat will ever come back. The only thing will tell is the time, obviously,
Yeah.
and I hope so. It's always nostalgic reason if that happened. If at least for one tournament. I hope always for at least for one tournament. I hope Superman will come back, and it will be cool if we would win again. But I don't know really. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously ends after this that year. It's Super Mad hasn't been together again since. It was the only time Super Mad ever lost the tournament to what was probably ever going to be the greatest NA team at this point. You might get some that try to rival it, but they haven't beat Super Mad. It's going to be hard for them to ever say they were better. Um, I guess let's move a little bit towards 2023 here. I think that was the last tournament of the year, right? Did the 4v4 team, and then we go to 20.
Yeah, and the part we already
Yeah, we talked about it. Um, tournament in 2023.
season 5.
That was
Was
the
8
mid.
months.
That was the. Oh god, this was the one of the most exciting seasons to watch.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
Superman Splinters. It was for me. I enjoyed watching this season immensely. This was one of the best seasons ever to watch. Um, I guess so. You're playing with Men's, right? You're playing with Nuts, Yadu, if I remember correct,
Yeah.
and Stevo. Yes, I remember this team now. What was that like? You're not playing with Super Mad anymore, but you're playing with EU players. How was it playing on that team?
Mm, from the start, it was planned maybe that Dark Rider, Yado and me sign up. But Yado and me weren't sure before if we wanna play because sometimes I was since the partner draft, I was like, I don't know if I have the motivation or something to do
Mm.
ever again a tournament, and I heard that Dark Rider signed up with Seth. But I asked Yado because he was a while done ago and motivation lacking. I mean, so many people saying it was his fault and I don't know, and left his draft team down, and it was his reason why he left partner and blah blah blah. And I talked with him, and he uh, told me his reasons why he did this, and I was like, yeah, it's understanding. But if we sign up, I wanna have you really high motivation. I want to have you really high motivation. Um, he said, "Yeah, I can do that." It's he knows our team, and he said, "I'm in. I will try to give my best." And I was like, "Okay." I asked Nerds because I heard um, he would like to play, but he wouldn't try to create a team as from himself. He
Okay.
would just be asked. And I was like, I mean, you're having Nutz, right? So the thing is, Nutz is a really smart guy. He has really good controlling and understanding what his team has to do. And what I'm hoping for was like, okay, I'm playing with Nutz. I have I would say for myself, at least a good understanding what things happening. So I try to Nuts don't have to worry about me. So I'm hoping that Nuts stepping up on this individual gameplay when he's doing more frags maybe. And yeah, it was like the reason. And Stefano, I know him really long, and we are really good mates since I know almost. Is it 10 years? I guess it should be 10 years. Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay. Been for a long time.
yeah,
You guys. So we play out the group stage. You guys end up 4-1. You guys looked really good. For the most part, you beat. The first 2 weeks you beat OG Toxic. Your only loss was to the Dark Rider Sev team. You even ended up beating Raj 6-9 or 9-6. Sorry. Oof.
yeah,
Um. Then we go into playoffs, and you lose to Raj immediately, pretty hard, and then
yeah,
you end up playing Crimson Nova again.
yeah.
Um. What went wrong with the Raj match in playoffs? What caused that loss there?
Um, yeah, from the group stage, we knew that we will play definitely against each other again. So it didn't matter really. It just mattered for the seeding for the playoffs,
Yeah.
who is the higher seed. And we're just like, yeah, then, but we still just play it. So let's go. And we beat them. And for the playoffs, yeah, I heard that Ace will play over Mutane because they want to have start an Ace on NYC, of course. And yeah, it was then pretty rough. Um, but I correctly remember we played with Odiadu
I
as
think so.
well.
I think so. The timing worked out that way that you played with
Yeah, I guess
Silk on it.
both matches was Raj. I guess Yadu sit up on both, actually. Um, I don't know why exactly. Yeah, that's what I said, Kristen. We had several. I don't know why, but yeah. But they played really good on the players, 100%. I mean, NYC was a factor, yes, but yeah, I don't know what else to say.
You go up at then okay, so you play next. You play Crimson Nova. We're not going to talk about the toxic match.
Yeah.
You play Crimson Nova. You guys lost to him in groups. I mean, did you think there was a chance you win, or was it kind of a felt like it was already done before it even started?
Yeah, we had. I know we're just like we were pretty. We were not really. We were a bit disappointed from the Raj match, but the Toxic Wombats match where we had Natsiado me played again, they gave us a good confidence boost because we played really well there.
Hmm.
And we're just like hoping. So yeah, maybe we can shut out Dark Rider on you and winning pretty hard on you, and maybe just holding a bit on NYC, because we know we're Sev is really scary and you feel like he wants to win. Yeah, but the thing was, I I guess that both Crimson Nova matches, I feel like there was the only two matches where I didn't play at least fine overall. I guess even the Team Rush matches I played really fine, and against them I don't know why I didn't find any openings. I lost every
Okay.
one-on-one battle. It was pretty rough, and yeah, that was the issue. And sometimes we on the U we forced too much, so we won. We were like, bro, they're the core is an A. We have the low ping. We have usually to win every one-on-one. We are so cocky like this, and we paused too hard, and they punished us for this. So it's then a rough loss, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we all know. And I guess let's go on to 3v3 Masters. We'll talk about that. I think we'll do that before. Oh, wait. I don't know. Okay, we'll talk 3v3 Masters first.
Uh,
So you sign up with Dark Rider yourself, and I think it was Yato again, right?
yeah, and Spitz.
So this is kind of the team that you were planning on having for that 3v3 season before Dark Rider goes off and plays the Crimson Nova.
Yeah.
Uh, this kind of looked like old Slender again. This looked like, godlike Slender that does things that defy reason type thing. Um, you guys go undefeated in the Legend stage of the tournament. You make it to playoffs, no problem. Talk to me about
Yeah.
playing with this team. What was it like playing with Dark Rider, Yadu? I mean, obviously Spitz was on the team and had to play every now and then. How was it?
Um, yeah, I mean, Dark Rider said for the BFH tournament he want to have an EU team to win, and I mean he always wanted to win a tournament with Yadu, and um, he asked me if Supermat signing up, and I said I don't know. I can ask them, and I asked Supermat, and they said Norway has no time, and Jules said he's busy with exams for his university, and Toby said if he will play, not in the triad team. And I was like, and I told Dark Rider, okay, they if they play, we don't play a super match. It could happen that we split or something. And he was like, okay, then let's sign up. It's like okay, and I mean, I played with him and with Yadu in the same CS team. It was also a thing, so the chemistry and understanding to each other wasn't that to have to deal with pretty
Mm-hmm.
huge. So then we're like, okay, let's go. And a good thing of Dark Rider is my motivation was sometimes lacking, but he always tried to force me to play scrims, and scrims. It was that he can really good. And yeah, that was like the time where I found slowly my form back. Why slowly first? Because the thing is, Yado and me played the same, and we had to figure that out first on some closer matches how we wanna play. And
Yeah.
when always Spitz played different to Yadu, and I mean, he also didn't play. So he played them more carefully and more far behind, and I was like, okay, then I tried to play really aggressive back again, and it somehow worked out every time. I was like, okay, I get my confidence back. So, and then I start to perform better.
Okay, let's so we'll talk about playoffs a little bit, right? You beat the skinny team. This is when skinny first kind of came on. Everybody
Mhm.
was like, "Oh God, they're skinny here now." You play against Dragosti in winners finals, and you lose by one flag.
Yeah.
Um, what was the team vibe like? You guys just lost. You're going down into lose by. You're playing against Kevin Stud, and I think even Mutane was on Chickle My Pickle, right?
No, no.
No, he wasn't.
That was Puma and Kevin
Oh,
instead.
that's right. So yeah, you're
That's
going
the
down. You're
fun.
going down to a pretty tough opponent. Two of those people just won the last 3v3 tournament. How were you feeling?
Yeah, it was like losing against 5S that I blame myself. That was Yadu did to him on that match because he had hangover, so and he didn't had the feeling to play the game. And Nutz became huge in every situation, and Jules played really well on Dagobah. Mm, so yeah, it was a rough loss, but we know we can come back from this pretty easily. We have just to grind and play like before, so wasn't that much worried about. So
Okay. You obviously beat Stud's team. You guys beat him pretty easily. It was like 6-2. It seemed like you guys always had control. And then you make it to grand finals. You barely reset the bracket in a very close first match. It was super close. You guys declined playing the second match same day because of that. Um, and then you guys kind of you won 7-3. It seemed like you guys knew what you were doing. It wasn't as close as the winners final or the first grand final.
and both matches was really close. I remember, especially the first match in the grand final was like back and forth, and
I remember you guys were pretty
I know,
exhausted.
yeah, I know, and that's I know. On Dagobah, I know Dark Rider clutch sometimes in huge fashion, and me as well. On the other side, you had duels on Jabba and Dago. You had sometimes Needs on Dago. You had sometimes duels, Nuts on Jabbas as well. So it was back and forth. They go into the lead, so we came back. We went into lead in overtime. They came back from it, and it was back and forth the whole time. Where always try to be calm as possible, but we are also excited because we wanna win. We wanna win the whole tournament. That's why we signed up. Dark Rider will not Dark
Yeah.
Rider will not be calm down before he wins his first tournament. That's what he wants.
And
And
people were starting to
he
give him like the stigma of choking.
yeah, and the thing was he choked the BCA final before.
Yeah.
And he wanna win with Yadu, especially with Yadu, because they played so many tournaments together. And Yadu also had the feeling, yo, this is a tournament we can win. Uh, They were both hard grinding for winning, and yeah, that's why we gave everything as possible.
I guess let's compare, right? Let's compare. You won so many tournaments with Supermad, right? Supermad was like
Yeah,
you were like one of the home names by the end of it. Did this one feel did it feel more impressive to you, or was it what did it feel like because it's the first one you didn't like win with them?
yeah, of course. Like you- when you're looking on my winning tournaments, you see always my team. And I was like, okay, it's the same team. It's the same players. It's like you play with Norway. It's maybe the best player who ever touched the game. Yeah, okay, cool. And I always wanted to prove also myself, yo, I can win a tournament outside of Supermat. I wanna prove that. And I
Yeah.
wanna play in that tournament also really well as much as possible. And I was a bit worried on the last match because Dark Raider had a rough start. And but we bounced really hard back. And he also find his flow in the mid match. I was always be there if needed. And Yadu's yeah, like also when he said it also in an interview. I rewatched it, Yado's flag pathing and readings, what he had in the final. It was crazy. It was insane. You when you listen to Yadu, he's smoking guy and whatever, but this understanding what he has then sometimes in the tournament matches is crazy.
Hmm.
Like he read everything perfectly what happening in the next 20 seconds. So it was insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys win that one. Obviously, you just talked about how amazing it was. That's great. I'm happy to hear about that. Um, I guess we can talk a little bit about the summer draft because it happened at obviously we got the weekend one coming up. Um, you play you end up drafting. I was ready for this, and now I'm drawing a blank. I was totally ready for this.
Shimo.
Oh
Okay.
yes, okay. You have Strider at the time. You had Raw, so you have Strider,
Yeah.
Raw, and I think you picked up
ISO first.
ISO.
Oh,
So
ISO.
at first you have this team. You know, Londo is you get assigned him as your fifth because you picked him, and then Raw says he doesn't have time anymore. You bring Kitty in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess you looked good this entire tournament, but talk to me about this team. How was it playing with these players?
Different. Different. What should I say? No, the thing is, so many people ask me why I'm picking Strider. And my mind was like, okay, what way I wanna go? It depends so hard on my first pick. Uh, and I was like, okay, go for you or go for NA players. And my other mind was like, when I go you, I will pick Rilla and Sunny. That was my other way. And I was like, should I go it? I don't know. Sometimes the motivation of Rela and he's sometimes inactive, and yeah, Svenny's motivation sometimes lacking too. And but I don't know who I picked from NA. I saw like, yeah, I don't know. Strider is the only gold player left basically, and I was like, when I pick Strider, he will probably play mostly NYC, so he has his home server where he performed really well in the major before. So I picked in Strider, and and Ral is because he's a smart guy. He understands the game, and I wanted to have someone who I give the in-game leader role to him, and I was like, I'm hoping he's IGLing and I can frag the Strider only.
Okay,
So that was I'm hoping for.
I
Yeah,
guess it probably was pretty.
yeah. It was it was really rough when he messaged me. He has to leave because of private reasons. I know the reasons obviously as well, and
Yeah.
it was pretty rough. Um, so I mean, Kitty subbed in, didn't touch the game for 1 year, and but from that what he tried to did, he did really fine. Um, but I have to be back on the IGL rule basically and try to micro my whole team. And I was hoping for not for one tournament not to do it, and I was a bit happy it wasn't HDF. But in every draft, I have to do that. I
Yeah.
guess like I will not come. I will can't go away from that.
Yeah.
So
The curse of being a top player in a draft, I guess. By
a
the way,
curse to be a top
guys.
player overall, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. By the way, guys,
That's
you are going to be welcome to ask him questions here shortly. You can ask, you know, see what's the answer him. Read them off. Um, I guess that kind of sums everything up so far. I don't think there's anything we've really missed. You're now playing with Jules and Nils in this weekend
yeah.
tournament. Obviously, you've played with Jules a lot. I think you said you played with Nils before quite a bit too, right?
I played with both, yeah.
Um, how are you feeling going into it? Feeling good?
Yeah, the thing is my mechanics were back into winter sleep or something so far. Are coming slowly back in. Yeah, we played already against Dark Riders team. It will be interesting, I hope, in the tournament. Um, so I'm looking forward. We have a bit time to practice, and we said we will practice.
Okay.
So and yeah, Jules and Newt still good team atmosphere. We have still work on some stuff, but yeah, we're still really confident into us. I try to fit a bit of Nut's role what they had in Dragosteer. Because I guess it's better when Nils and Jude's feeling comfortable in their roles. So I try to bring my own game and mixing up that what Nuts did into the team. So
So look at it. We're gonna give it a running count here, right? So you won three v3 seasons back to back in BC. You haven't won any of those since, but that's 3 in a row. Yeah, I
yeah,
think you moving with Super Mad one with um then we go BFH. You have won 1 4v4. You've won 2 3v3s, right?
yeah,
Okay. Again with Super one of the 3v3s was not with Super Mad. So you're looking at right now we're looking at 6 titles across the board.
yeah,
Haven't won any of the drafts, but I don't think people put too much stock in drafts. 6 titles is crazy. At least 2 MVPs, right?
yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Close
So
was
so
actually.
we're looking at 6 titles, 2 MVPs. We're looking at one
It's,
of.
no, actually 7 when you count the EVC.
Oh, true, true. There you go. So
7
seven,
titles.
7 titles, 2 MVPs. You're looking at one of the most storied players in Steam Battlefront. Kind of crazy to think about. Did you think when you came back to the game that you would win that much?
Wait. What? Read
When you
Ice question. Sorry.
when you came back to the game, did you think you would win 7 titles, get 2 MVPs?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I won 7. Yeah, I've got 2 MVP titles and won sometimes. Yeah.
So you're telling me back in 2018 you knew this was going to happen?
No, actually not.
I was going
Um,
to say you'd be quite the prophet.
yeah, I mean, the profit was definitely a factor. Like, I have a luck then playing with maybe the greatest team who ever produced in Steam Battlefront, and be a part of it. It's 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 a unique thing, I guess. Um, but also, especially still the BFH Master was also impressive. I was really proud of because there was a lot of storyline, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
When you try to make the story of it. Well, the question was, can Dark Rider win their tournament ever? Can I win a tournament without Supermat? Niels will win his first tournament and Jules without Supermat? So it was a lot of storyline behind there. So I was also really happy. Um, but overall, I would say when you ask me 2018 and from now, and you say win 7 tournaments of, let's say, 12, I would say no, it will never happen because you don't know what happens in the game. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have a very unique system that Supermat has always rebutted, where you have just teams that constantly change and sub and reform, whereas Supermat never did. Only have one loss to show for it. The rest of them, they all won. Um, I guess I got a couple questions for you myself. The first question
yeah,
is what is it like playing with Noe, right? Everybody reveres Noe as like the goat. He is the guy when people talk about competitive Battlefront if they were around for Steam.
yeah.
Is everything that people say true?
He sometimes he is crazy, yes. Sometimes he is. But sometimes when you play with him in a tournament and you see it when you spectate him in the tournament, you see it when he is when in his focus. When you see he is in his focus, he's unstoppable. You see then on the kill feed he's making 2Ks in a row back to back and touching flag, making another 2 kills from 3 and touching flag and be through or something. Only no way can basically do this. It's insane. That's I I love him. I mean, also for myself, the best player in the game. I mean, even he's inactive, um, but still he's for me the best player, and I really love to play with him. He's so nice, and he has an insane understanding of the game.
Um, next question. Question.
I mean, I can also say that to Toby as well. I mean, I'm playing a lot of
I guess,
Toby, and
guess it is a good question. Like, I think a lot of people said that Toby just won because he played with Noe, right?
yeah,
Um, where would you rate him? Where would you rate Puma? Is he top tier or?
for me, yes. For me, yes. I mean, Toby also provocate a lot. Some people, it's not without a doubt, but
Yeah.
um, I mean, you played with him as well. I don't know how much effort and stuff like this he put into bots. But in Supermat, he was an important factor for this team. When you play play, you play with Norway and the other one is Toby. You know, both have insane chemistry to each other. They both know how to play together. They know what the other one is always doing, and it's crazy. It's crazy. And Toby was important for all the map votings we do. Actually, he was always who bring the ideas into the map votings, and he was mostly the guy who actually say, "Yo, we should maybe do this and play like this," because um, many people say maybe Noah would do that because they say Toby's not a top player, but actually Toby is actually saying most of the stuff. Oh, we have to do this, and maybe picking this map and ban this map. So well, it's a lot of Toby actually. So props obviously to Toby.
Yeah. Um, how long do you see yourself doing this? You've done it for what we were going on at a year 5 now. We're approaching that. How long do you see yourself doing it?
I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. Um, I can't tell anything at the moment. It depends always if I have time to do play video games overall,
Yeah.
and if yes, then should Battlefront be a part of it, or focusing on other stuff when you're playing CS:GO tournaments? I mean, Jules can also say something like you don't have sometimes time to play Battlefront. You just focusing then on CS or League of Legends or Valorant, and you play then video games in other tournaments. So I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I hear you're an opera, right? So when are we gonna see you on big starting lineup?
What?
When,
What?
when are you gonna be on big starting lineup, man?
I don't know. That's you trolling me, to be honest.
A
You
little bit, a
know,
little bit.
guys, you have to understand. I mean, all the people who watching CS:GO. There's a organization who was naming big. It's a German team, and the, I talked with Jules actually today about it a bit, and I was memeing like from KMAN, yeah, when you be main all AWP big. So um, I don't know. For me, I don't know. Big is they picked 3 academy players who are pretty inconsistent, and Man 2 is Orb. I don't know. That's also inconsistent. So
All right. Well, I guess we can move into chat questions. There's only 3. Props to Ace for asking 2. Scout, I think, was kind of
yeah,
beating the
one
gas
I
on this
will
one.
I will not one answer that. I
Which
will
one?
not both answer. Yeah, both from Ace and from Scout. To be honest, like
You
this is a troll.
you want to answer
This
those?
these are trolls. These are
I
trolls.
mean, you can still say who your favorite and least favorite is. It doesn't have to be Ace.
My favorite BCL member is
Yeah.
obviously you. One of definitely you. Really high. Um, yeah,
I made
I
it to
mean,
first on the list, guys.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I have so many people where I don't have really issues with. I can't really tell. I don't know. I mean, you, of course, I message with you every day.
Yeah, we talk a lot.
I have to say, yeah, Sniper is definitely a guy where I've definitely mentioned. Ace. I mean, the question is a troll, but I talking also a bit with Christian. The stats, of course, and who I have as well. Yeah, and Kratos as well. This is also a guy who I'm talking a bit sometimes. Yeah.
I guess the second one should be changed to who is your least favorite BCL member and why is it Kirby?
He's annoying. I yeah, Dark Rider showed me the way to block people, but
Oh
and
no.
I'm usually not a fan of to do that. I'm
Oh man.
not a fan of blocking people, but sometimes there's no other way.
Okay, you have to. I'm curious the answer here. So, kiss, marry, or kill. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I know what it is, and I will not answer
You're
it.
not gonna answer?
No, I can't do that between all of you of my Superman
Oh,
brothers,
oh
and
my god.
it's unfair to anyone. Everyone would see me kill Toby. That's I can't do that.
Okay, all right. Uh,
It's not fair.
yes, Scout did just ask. It's a pretty legitimate question. What is there a map that you would put in, or what map should be put into the map? Is there any you can think of?
You're Kaufless and Vujun,
I
in
like
my opinion.
Kothos is a good one. I haven't played Vajun much. Everybody, there's a lot of hate around. But I do like
I
Kothos. I agree with that.
I am hoping Kaufless. I actually enjoy that map to play, and every playtest and BFL scrims as well. It's pretty cool, to be honest. It's a cool map, and um, I know it. Vijun is not a favorite from everyone, but I guess for another sniper map replacement, potentially, it's a cool map. You don't have many sniper maps for tournaments usually, so and I always enjoyed it
Huh?
play. So
Sorry, Macy J. This isn't. We're not like playing the game. This is just a podcast talk show around people and the players of the. So that is what this is. For those that did not make it to the intro, this is a new show that I'm doing by myself, where I'm going to take people that I've asked, or you can even come and approach me if you want to do it after the show is done, and I will ask you questions about your time on Steam, playing in the tournaments. You can. This is just like a player to player thing. There is no staff or not staff involved. You can answer me as much as you like or as much as you don't want to. If I don't reach out to you and you do want to do this, you can DM guys. I want to try and catalog a bunch of time on Steam. There isn't really any other questions. Is there anything that you in particular would like to talk about that we may not have talked
oh, let me think. It's so much
about?
time happen sometimes. Yeah, I actually wanna have your idea about these weekends tournaments. I mean, it's pretty new. I have no happening. What will happen there now?
Like
I
my thoughts
mean,
on it.
yeah,
Um, and it's something that we've tossed around before. It's like a short. Well, our idea was 2 days. It was um. I don't know. I hope it works. I'd love to see it work because it would open up the idea to do this stuff more, where you don't have to play these month long or week long tournaments that slowly sap you of your energy. Um, it would be great
uh,
to have more of that. You could do more events that way. You could make more hype tournaments that way. You could even like make qualifiers that lasted 2 days, for instance. So it would be, if it does work, it would be great. I think obviously you have to figure out dates that work for a lot of people, but I'm
yeah,
excited for it. I hope it works out well. I know I'm going to be there to cast, play, whatever I'm doing. We played in the first one of the first matches.
yeah. At this Scout's question is interesting.
Yeah, okay, let's hear your answer. You do it?
I hope so. It's my hot take is every high tier player in this game. It doesn't matter how good you or how mates you are. Really, you wanna take them down if they're on the other team.
Yeah.
Every top player has it, and even when you're not champ, when you're something around silver and gold, you wanna beat other silver gold players because they're on your level. You wanna prove you are the better one. It's in every game. And so I hope personally, I hope we win. I have really high hopes also on my team, but I know how strong they are, and I played some scrims already against them, and it's always really hard to play against them. Um, I'm excited. But I would say we have a chance, 100%. It's not like that. I would say we are the underdogs or something.
I think it's a good time to plug this is the
Yeah, yeah.
on the 12th, guys. There is a 3v3 tournament happening all the matches for it's a 17 tournament, double elimination bracket. All matches will be happening in a single day where it's made to last like hours ish, approximately, maybe a little bit
Yeah,
longer.
6 something.
Got a bunch of new stuff to it. There'll be you're only playing in the early matches before the grand finals. You're only playing one map both sides. You're not. So be sure to tune in, guys. This could be a pretty big step forward, in my opinion, for Battlefront and the community if we can make stuff work. So it's that be a thing out. To Scout's question, I think there is no doubt in that, and seeds show that because the seeds were released today. Actually, uh,
Yep.
top seed is JoJo and Co. Second seed is how do you say that? Loba
Loba
Suicide.
Suicide.
Okay. Third seed's Ain't No Way. For those who do not know, that is Skinny, Clone, and Kratos. Fourth seed's Awesome Knots. That's Doves, J-Man, and Nightwing. Overranked.
Okay.
Fifth
Dubs, I guess you have to prove him wrong now.
seed's Avada Kedavra. That is 47. Sorry, I forgot that.
Vitiate, Urbans, and Wonder.
Which I think that's Vanda's debut in tournament, right? He hasn't played in one yet.
No, he played.
Was it partner up?
With Dark Rider. No, with Dark Rider, Yadu, and was it Whitehawk in that team? Oh, what was the team name? Bruh, it was where Dreadful played as well in that tournament.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the name.
Sixth is No Interview, which is the No Interview team from last BFH2 through the Masters. Those Obi-Wan Coffee. Last, but they're technically first, is Never, myself, and Lack. First match is actually us. It is Interview versus starts at 10 Eastern on a Saturday, so be sure to wake up early if you want.
You wanna watch it or if you wanna participate?
Feel like doesn't just like covered pretty much everything. I am grateful that you said yes. Thank you for coming on to this show. Thanks for being the first one. You're the guinea pig.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm glad you guys all could watch on short notice. I am gonna upload this to YouTube, so it will be up there. And I got 2 other people already in line to do this. But if you do want to do this and I don't DM you, you are more than welcome to reach out. We can talk as long or as short as you like on stream. Hopefully the next one will be soon. I appreciate you guys watching.
I know one guy. But I will not leak, of course.
Thanks.
I